Hello, Patricia. This is Mrs. Jones. I thought about it. I'm going to make a little video personally just for you with this assignment. I'm not sure exactly what you were having trouble with. So what I'm going to do is go over a few questions in each section. So the metric system, this thing up at the top here, is the same thing for meter, which is length, liter, which is volume, and gram, which is weight. See that right in the middle? Then you've got prefixes. So you would have a megameter, a megaliter, and a megagram. Do you see? These are prefixes that go on these base units. So you could have a kilometer, a kiloliter, and a kilogram. Same thing for all these other ones. You could have a micrometer, a microliter, and a microgram. This meter, liter, gram tell you if it's a length unit, a volume unit, or a weight unit. So here in the very first section it says identify the following metric measures with their appropriate category of weight, length, or volume. These should be very easy for you because you're going to notice that this says, it doesn't matter what the milli is, but it says gram. So a gram is a weight measurement. This base word right here says meter for centimeter. A meter is a length unit. Okay, so the rest of those I want you to do on your own. Okay, then we talk about abbreviations. At the chart at the top, the abbreviations are right here. These little letters. Those abbreviations are for the prefixes that go on to the base unit abbreviations. Okay, so down here in the second part of this, we're asking to write the abbreviations. So the very first one is microgram. Micro, from the chart up here, is MC, or you could use this little Greek letter, but MC is probably going to be the one that you guys see the most. MC. MC, and it's a little m and it's a little c. And gram is abbreviated by just doing a G, so it's microgram. A liter is abbreviated by a capital L. We use a capital L for liter so it doesn't look like the number 1. So now kilogram. Kilo comes from the chart up here. Kilo is represented by a K. And then gram, we know, is the letter G. So this is a kilogram. Okay, I'm hoping that helps with that section. The rest of those I want you to do on your own. Let's turn to the next page. The next page at the top show 5 rules that are used for medical notation. The very 2 important ones when you are dealing with medical notation are number 4, rule number 4, and rule number 5. Rule number 4 says that fractional parts of the unit are expressed as decimals. So you do not use 1/2 of a milliliter. You're going to represent 1/2 as using 0.5. So we cannot use fractions when we're talking about metric units. The second one that I say is very important is rule number 5. Rule number 5 says a 0 is placed in front of the decimal when it's not preceded by a whole number. So instead of writing, here's another example, instead of writing 0.2 grams, we need to make sure we put a 0 in front of this because this point, now I made my point really dark, But if somebody didn't see that point, that decimal point, it would look like 2 grams. Adding the 0 to the front of it makes the decimal point stand out and be recognized in medical notation. So down here in this section, you have to kind of think about elementary school and when you were taught to read and write words, or not read and write words, read and write numbers. 2 grams is just going to be 2 grams. 500 milliliters, these ones are easy, 500 milliliters, remember to use capital L for liters. 5/10 of a liter. The tenths place is the place after the decimal point. So that means that we got to put a 0 in front of this, and we're going to say, and we know it's a liter. Let's jump down. I'll show you number 5. 5/100ths of a gram. The hundredths place is the second place after the decimal point, which means that we got to put a 0 in front of here, and it's a gram. I want you to do the rest of those on your own. Right? And then the last page. The last page has to deal with doing conversions, okay? And you're going to kind of need your very first sheet handy to look at. But the very first problem says 7 milligrams, and we're changing it to micrograms. So we're going to look over here at this. Milligrams. Milligram is here, and changing it to micrograms means that I'm going from milli to micro. So I'm going to the right. Do you see that? I'm going to the right. And if I look at these little exponent things here, between -3 and -6, that's 3 spaces in between there. So it's 3 spaces to the right. So we go, here's our decimal point. We go 1, 2, 3, and it will fill those in with those little empty rockers in with zeros. Good. All right, let's look at, I'm going to do a couple more here. Let's look at our next example. Liters into milliliters. So liter is right here in the middle. It's a base unit. So it's right here. It's right there in the middle. And we're going to milliliter, so that means we're going to milli, we're going to the right. And if you look at the exponents between 0 and -3, there's 3 spaces. So that means that there would be 3 spaces to the right. And we take this decimal and we go 1, 2, 3. We'd fill in any empty rockers with zeros. Okay. Let me do one that's a little slightly different. Let's go down and look at number 5. Number 5 says milligram to gram. So go back and look at our chart again. Milli is right here, and gram is in the middle. So if we're converting from a milli to a gram, that means we're going to the left on this one. And we still look at the exponents, and we can see that there's 3 spaces in between those exponents. So it's 3 spaces to the left. We're doing number 5. So this is right here. 1, 2, 3. That's going to end up being 0.150. But if we follow our rules from the other page, this 0 needs to drop off. and we need to make sure we put a 0 in front so that that decimal point will stand out. All right, the rest of these I want you to try on your own, okay? Try your best. If you get them wrong, that's fine. Just try your best, okay? All right, thanks, Patricia. Bye.